The party has begun. Look, Lyrical has come in to the building, and we have all come together here. It's time to start. It's time to start. It's always time to be in the heart. And it's always time to worship and to give thanks to God. God is good all the time. Woo! I've gotten really into teacher worship. You know, worshiping our teachers. And that goes for our public school teachers. Yeah. No, those people inspired us when we were young children. But it also goes for our spiritual teachers. And we, at least for me, I have a very high bar of who I consider to be my spiritual teachers. And I follow Amma, the hugging saint from India. Now she is my primary teacher, and I think that she is an incarnation of Sri Ramakrishna. And I love her teachings. I just recently became a Buddhist because I found this woman named Khandrila. She actually convinced me that a common person like myself can perfect my intention to become a purely good person. And she convinced me that she was just like me, a common person, but could become perfected in her intention. And then when I took discipleship under her, then she also was thinking of His Holiness the Dalai Lama. And so in that session, when I took refuge with Khandrila, I also got His Holiness the Dalai Lama as a great teacher. And it's funny because the great teacher that I'm here to honor here today is kind of, she seems just like one of us. And I think she is actually just like one of us. But when she speaks and when God speaks through her, it's like no other teacher that I've ever experienced. So anyways, it's hard to get that much teaching from the Reverend Deborah and to actually do the practice. So what I've done here is gotten some of her teachings, put them into a hip-hop form, into a lyrical form. And so I'm going to go through the songs that I think kind of best describe her last sermon, which was a month ago. And so there's going to be a few songs that I'm going to do here, something like so. And yeah, I think you'll recognize it. All right. Let's start a little beat up. Hip hop is ministry. Yeah, 'cause hip hop is ministry. I stay on purpose, but won't lose my focus. I come out them spiritual closet. My love for you is selfless. I stay on my purpose. I won't lose my focus. I come out them spiritual closet. My love for you is selfless. Hey, I'm gonna get those riches by following the rags. I've been wearing my dysfunction out like a merit badge, focusing upon all my problems that I've had, wondering why conversations turn out so bad. But rumors are more fun when we talk about the problems, but the problem, that type of thinking, it just don't solve them. It's like wrong thought, wrong view. Oh, just gotta do now a deeper commitment to my spiritual purpose. I bring it on because my love, my intention to love is more strong. I got no problem. I got no problem. I stay on my purpose, but won't lose my focus. I come out the spiritual closet. My love for you is selfless. Ja, be my witness. Who do I trust and why? Who do I trust and why? Who do I trust and why? Ooh, I only trust you, Ja. I only trust you. You say you lost trust, but I know that trust you must. Already believing the truth is gonna hurt, already expecting the worst. But Murphy's Law, I reverse because the kingdom of God I seek first. And surely there I'm gonna satisfy my thirst. And I know this is a place right here, right now, where I can taste God is at hand. I put my heart in a place to understand, and my mind is in a place of possibility, consciousness. And it doesn't matter when, 'cause at any time your heart can open. Who do I trust and why? Who do I trust? Oh, do I put my faith in the people, places, or things? Now my trust, I only trust you, Jah. I trust you, Jah. There's two sides to the story, and then there is the truth. But there's even more to the story. Nah, ain't that the truth? You try to describe love or count your blessings, but it's like counting blades of grass in the pasture. Your names and your words and your constructs, they don't capture. Now your little opinion, it doesn't even matter. Previous conceptions have all got to be given up. Don't play small, you gotta stand up tall. Make it so this vision's gonna be big enough to include us all. And with this greater vision that I hope you seek, you're gonna have to walk forward in faith before it's complete. Cause the spiritual path ain't about living comfortably. Now you even gotta include your enemy. You got to actively love your enemy and your friends and your strangers too. There are two sides to the story, and then there is the truth. There's even more to the story, and that's always the truth, yeah. What needs to be healed is revealed. So now you can deal with it. That's for real. Now. What needs to be healed is revealed. And now it's time to deal with it for real now. God is truth with a capital T. Things become clear before I could not see. Obstacles become the opportunity. Interpret what you see as a reality with the eyes of forgiveness. I'm looking back in the past. Yeah, I'm living in the not know. I'm living in the not know. I'm living in the not know because that's where it's at. The spiritual truth is going to transcend all the facts. Then you're getting so attached to micromanage all the details. But let me say, once you transform, I got to inform you, you're gonna break the bell curve, you're gonna break the norm. What you're gonna become once you transform, let me inform, you're gonna break the bell curve, you're gonna break the norm. What needs to be healed is revealed. So now it's time for you and me to deal for real. What needs to be healed is revealed. So now it's time to deal for real now. All right, so if you start from this point and you keep walking into that wall, you know what I'm saying? If we keep going down this path, where are we going to lead to? The path of worshiping our teachers, where are that going to lead to? I'm going to go the whole path. I'll go the whole path, I not turn back. I'm going to go in them a whole path. I not turn back. The spiritual path, difficult but always worthwhile. You're gonna be your own judge, put your own self on trial. And I'd be skeptical, ain't looking for a miracle or another mislabel or an ego trip at all. Nothing permanent, wrong view, wrong project, cause and effect. Like I'm blindly following it the way that my ego interprets. But if you want to be a renunciate, you're gonna have to face it, embrace it, get your selfishness and replace it. I'm going on my whole path, and I let go. I'm going go the whole path, I go the whole path, I'ma not let go. Oh yeah. So you're hearing the words, you recognize what's going on. You hear Rev Deborah speaking. We're trying to get these words with us. Let's do one more shorty here for to make it complete. My vitality uniquely promised me how it is, how it was, oh, how it always will be. Ooh. My vitality, like I was in the Garden of Eden and I'm eating from the tree of life. I'm gonna eat that fruit, whole spirit, body, and mind, begotten by divine. I love Jaja, claim it up as mine. I love America, claim it up as mine. Yeah, like a pure love in a fresh water, ever bubbling spring, my life, my love, enduring, everlasting. Yeah, the spirit of life, a covenant that God has promised to me. My divinity, my vitality, who I am deep inside of my DNA, the twinkle in my eye to my very last day. The spirit inside me, oh yes I pray. My vitality uniquely promised me how it is, was, all, and will always be. Ooh, my vitality is my divinity deep inside my DNA. The twinkle in my eye today until my very last day. Oh, my vitality like a covenant that God has promised to me. How it is, how it was, how it always will be. All right, this has been it right here, the spiritual Rev D. Thank you so much to my great teacher.
I think I wasn't on. Namsya Carpenter, her beloved Smilesalot, and our very own house band, Russell Kreitman on keys, Kevin Denoto on drums, our band leader, Etienne France, on bass. I'm Rev Deborah Johnson. Welcome to Inner Light. You know, our motto is take this consciousness and multiply it. We know that we are all unique, individualized expressions of the divine. And we encourage everybody to be authentic, like you be you. That's one of the things that I've always loved about Inner Light, is that you never know what you're going to get. Yeah? It could be country and western, it could be hip hop, it could be some R&B, it could be somebody, you know, doing some Buddhist chants or whatnot, because there's just the one, you know what I mean? And when we get stuck in just hearing the message and hearing the word in one way, then we fail to see God everywhere. God is in everything, and God is in everyone. And I want to say thank you to Smilesalot. I tell you what happened. I was doing bubbles on the beach. I don't know, like maybe a month and a half ago or something like that. And it was coming near sunset, and they just walked by. We were the only ones on the beach, like at this particular time. And I was just so happy to see them because, gosh, I don't know, maybe it's been like 6, 7 years since you did any music with us. I mean, it's got to be like at least that long, because I know it was pre-COVID. And I just mentioned about this, and I said, you know, come on, like do some music, and welcome home. Yeah. You know, you might have remembered them from the Love Eternal band, but, you know, welcome home. Welcome home. Let's just turn within for a moment. Let's just turn within. And in this moment, we create the space. We create the space in consciousness. But we lift our vibration up. This is sacred, holy ground. Wherever we are is a sanctuary because we're holy beings. We feel that. We're not just flesh and bones. We're more than what's going on in the news. We are part of an unbroken chain of life since the beginning of time. think about that. We are the survivors of the survivors. The people who've gone through everything, through wars, through famines, through all kinds of diseases and atrocities. The people who've come up with all the inventions, with all of the music and the dance, the great moments in history, it's all flooding through our very veins. How sweet it is. So we come here to celebrate life. We declare everything that happens here today to be good and very, very good. We just get out the way and we let it be. And so it is. So it is, amen. Do a little shout out to the live streamers coming in. Say, we see you, we love you. Anybody here with us for like the very first time? We just want to say hello and thank you and acknowledge you. Anybody here for like the very first time? Do you mind standing? We just have a little blessing that we would like to do for you and with you. Can we outstretch? Can we outstretch our hands? Oh, come on, don't be shy. I know we got a couple more first-timers here. Say, we see you. We honor you. We acknowledge you. We bless you. We thank you for being you. We know that you are a powerful spiritual being. And we're so glad to share the journey with you this day. Come back now, you hear? I couldn't resist it. I'm sorry. But seriously, come back. Thank you. Thank you for being with us. Let's just take a breath, huh? Let's take another breath. Boy, what a time we're in, huh? Life is in session. It feels like an eternity just from the last time that we were gathered here, yes? You're going to hear me say, take a breath a lot. Take a breath. Take a breath. I keep reminding us, and I'm going to keep reminding us, that overwhelm, intimidation, promoting a sense of powerlessness, it is a weapon of oppression. It is a weapon of oppression. That it's not even just a means to an end, but it becomes an ends in and of itself. To have you give up, to have you cave in, to have you believe that you don't have any agency. Don't drink the Kool-Aid. Don't drink the Kool-Aid. Okay? There's a section in Scripture where Paul is talking to Timothy. And he's reminding Timothy that he comes from a legacy. He says, I can see that you have all of these spiritual capacities. It was in your mother. It was in your grandmother. It was in Lois. It was in Eunice. It's in your lineage. He says, and in the King James Version, it says you have to stir up the gifts. It literally is fan the flames. Fan the flames. Okay. You hear us talk about sometimes that thing about call in the wisdom of the ancestors. That's not like something just for exotic indigenous people. Okay, we're all indigenous. I mean, you go back far enough, it's like everybody's indigenous. It just is like from the land. Okay. But we know something is my point. We know something, and we have to stir that up. We have to fan that. And Paul goes on to remind him that God has not given us a spirit of fear. Technically, it's cowardice or timidity. Okay? That's not who we are. Okay? You can have fear, don't be fear. There's a difference. You can have it, don't be it. God has not given us a spirit of fear, but this is what God has given us, like who we are. That God has given us a spirit of power, which is the Greek word dunamis. Dunamis. It's one of my favorite words in Scripture. This is not like the power over anything or even just power to do a particular something. This is pure capacity. This power also is translated as possibility. Possibility is our nature. You see what I'm saying? We're not given a spirit of timidity and fear, that who we are is power and capacity to do. And all of the stuff that's out there trying to convince you that that's not who you are is a lie. It's just not true. Because who we are is capacity. Since we've been given three things. We have been given the spirit of power. We have been given the spirit of love. This is the agapeo love. This is not just the emotional love, like in Greek, there's all kinds of words. There's platonic love, that's just the friendship love. There's eros love, that's the romantic love. There's phileo love, which is like the familiar and the kinship. But then there's this agapeo. Okay? It's transcendent. It's not the love because of the connection that we have, of the familiarity of where we like each other. This is the oneness. We've all come from the same thing that can never be changed. I'm one with you even if I don't like you. That's our spirit. That's who we are. We are power. We are love. King James Version calls the third one self-discipline. Sound mind, actually. King James says sound mind, but it's technically self-discipline. Self-discipline. We can control our minds. We can control our thoughts. We get to control how we show up in the world. Don't be overwhelmed. It's the okey doke. Don't be overwhelmed. Okay? We have been given the power. We have been given the connectivity. We have been given the very discipline of how to use it. And discipline's not a dirty word. Its root is disciple. Discipline is the act of discipleship. Discipline is when you are consistent and you're able to repeat things. You're able to move yourself like in a certain kind of direction. You know what? Brother Jay, will you come here for a second? Tell these people who you are, what you do, and explain discipline.
I'm Rev Deborah's bodyguard. And Reverend Michael's when he comes. I'm a grandmaster in martial arts with over 50 years of experience and about 10,000 black belts all over the world. I'm semi-retired, but I still teach, and I still have the discipline to still work out at the age of 75. I think I'm still pretty good. And the biggest joy has been teaching the young ones who are like middle-aged now, discipline, and they're teaching their children discipline, being model human beings and citizens, and being a wonderful presence to the world. That's what it means to me.
Mm-hmm. Explain a little bit how you get discipline.
Say it again?
You teach people how to become disciplined. What do they need to understand about what it takes to become disciplined?
It takes repetition. It takes hard work. It takes focus and concentration and being able to be consistent in showing up, mostly showing up and being at the place where you're humble enough to follow instructions. I had to do it myself. I had to start from someplace back in 1969. I was a rowdy kid from New Jersey, didn't want to listen to anyone, so I was a hard student. I was a horrible student. And so, thank God I didn't have anyone as bad as me when they came, you know. So over the years, I've learned to soften. Since the time I was a first-degree black belt, which I was really undisciplined with a lot of skills and danger. And over the years, as I got older and accelerated in rank, I became more calm. When I tell some people I'm a grandmaster, said, "Oh, I never would have thought that." I said, "Thank you very much."
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Jay.
You bet.
75. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Are you feeling this? So think about your life. Just reflect just the past week or two. Think about the things you said, think about your conversations, think about the ways that you felt. How consistent have you been with where you want to go? Okay? I'm not trying to shame anybody. What I'm saying is that it happens anyway, but when you're under a lot of stress, you have to continuously self-correct. So there's a mindfulness. You don't judge yourself because you got off. You have to keep coming back and keep coming back. You don't have to spend a lot of time analyzing why you're off. Okay, if you're singing and you hit the wrong note, you get off key, you don't need to spend time in the middle of the song trying to figure out why you got off key. You get on key. If you're in the middle of a basketball game and you're not hitting your free throw shots, that's not the time for you to sit there and go, well, what was I doing? No. You course correct. You course correct. You course correct. Sometimes we think, I gotta know why I'm off first. It's the other way around. Listen to what I'm saying. It is the other way around. When you course correct, you shift your vantage point, you're able to see differently, and then you can figure out where you were wrong. If you keep coming back and doing your shot and doing your shot and doing your shot, you'll get to the point where you can feel when you're off. You begin to feel, oh, you know what? I didn't get enough lift into that, or my arm was like slightly off. Are you with me? If you keep moving in the right direction, you'll get a different perspective where you can look back and go, oh, that's what I was doing wrong in that relationship. Okay? But if you just keep doing the same thing over and over and over again till you can figure out why you're doing it and what's wrong before you give yourself a chance to move on, you're just going to keep doing it. Okay? And that's where we are now. And I know it's really tempting. It's really tempting to spend a whole lot of time trying to figure out how in the name of everything did we get here. And I'm not saying it's not an interesting discussion. But all I'm saying is that at this moment, it really don't make that much difference. Okay? When your house is on fire, it don't really make that much difference. How it got started or why it's burning, that's not going to shift what you need to do. You don't wait till you figure out how the house caught on fire before you do what you need to do, yes? The house is on fire, baby. The house is on fire. Just breathe that in. We're tired. We're weary, but we don't have the luxury to drop out. We do not have the luxury to drop out. I'm going to say one more thing before we do a little something here. I find myself in a tremendous amount of grief. Not only for things that are going on like in my personal life, but things that are going on in the world and things that are going on with the nation. But I know enough to know that a lot of my anger and rage is grief. Okay, one of the ways grief shows up is in anger. And it becomes really seductive for us to indulge the anger, which tends to objectify outward, and we keep looking for something out there that we can do to like make us feel better. Grief requires tenderness. Okay? Grief requires that you give yourself some slack, some space. Grief requires that you got to turn it down a little bit. You can't just be mad. Okay? Sower, tender, but you breathe through it. And grief is a communal thing. We've made it a singular thing, but it's not. All throughout history, there's been ways that community has come together to grieve. So I'm going to invite you to do that. I'm going to invite you sometimes when you're going through the pity parties and, bad-mouthing everybody and everything that's going on, just all y'all stop for a moment and just acknowledge the grief. Just acknowledge it. And we grieve not only what we've lost, but we grieve the dream. And I contend sometimes that's the bigger grief. It's like if I had a dad and he died, that's one kind of grief. If I never met him, or I didn't have a chance to have a relationship with him, that's a whole other kind of grief. That's a lot harder to put the salve on. See? And I know that I'm grieving not just the America that I knew, watching us become Russian, but the America that I was so sure we were on the brink of becoming. And just having to be with that. But what I know for sure is that I don't care what's going on out there with the government or anything else. We are the people. And ultimately, we've got the control. Ultimately, we have the power. Truth crushed to earth will rise and rise again. So part of what you do when you're in grief is you nurture yourself. And one of the best ways that you can nurture yourself is through song, rhythm, music, dance, creative expression. Live well. Live well is the best revenge. Live well. You know, the civil rights leaders, they didn't just march, they sang. They had church. They weren't just out there being mad. They were celebrating life. Take a breath. Give yourself a hand because you're here celebrating life. That's what you're doing. That's what you're doing. So, when were we going to play with these? Was this going to be at the very end?
In the middle, yeah, next after you.
Okay, good. Now's the time. Let's play. I told them if I had known that they were going to bring all these instruments, I'd have brought some more from the office.
This is a participation moment, so if you want to play an instrument, it's not a very complicated role here, so I want you to feel embrace it. Like, come in and play a drum. Now, if you want, come close and you can sit in the front. You can have a drum close to you. Now, like I said,
There's shakers and all kinds of
There's
little
no
things.
talent bar here. You're just going to participate with us, and I'm going to keep you going simple. So, all right, this is great. Everyone's getting close. I've also got a shaker or something to shake, so everyone can, because participation's part of it. Try something like that. Now, if you've got one of these instruments, you know, there's a lot of instruments here, and if we all go crazy on them, that's going to be so much fun. But that's not right now. What we're going to do is we're going to try to follow, me and Namsya, we come from rainbow family culture, and that means old hippies that decided to step out of society, and then those people ended up being my teachers. And so we want to share rainbow family culture with you. The good parts of it, rainbow family is totally inclusive, and like society, we've been plagued by drug use and things like that. So there are parts of rainbow family that I would not be proud of. But a rainbow family song is meaningful, and I want you all to get into the vibration of it. All right, Gabe, it's time to put the lyric on if it's possible. And the lyrics are going to help. This song is also an introductory. There's in Rainbow Family, everyone's going to be a participant. No one's going to be a superstar. Everyone is that way. And so that's how this is too. You don't have to sing it in a certain tone or a certain harmony or anything like that. And we're going to play the heartbeat. And we play this all around the circle, around the fire. There's no television. We slow our minds down. We take a lot of breath and just play a very slow heartbeat, singing, enjoying life, and bringing our mind into the importance of the song. So that's what we're going to do. There's going to be 2 beats that we'll ask you to play. And if the Spirit calls you, I'm not trying to control the Spirit, but I want you kind of either to play these 2 things like boom, 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 just like that, boom, boom.
2, 3,
and if you have it,
1, 2.
it could be like that. Oh, yeah, that works, because sometimes now sometimes it gets a little slow, so then we go faster, and it goes more like boom, 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 boom. So sometimes it's like that, but let's go back. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah. Namsya will lead us in the song.
So the first song is about the heartbeat, because the heartbeat is something that connects us to our own heart, our own spirit. It's the heartbeat of the earth as well. And it's something that connects us to our humanity. Almost all living beings have a heartbeat, so it's a universal way to connect to the Divine Mother. Okay. So the lyrics are up there. You can sing with us. Okay. Heartbeat, heartbeat of the earth, heartbeat. Come sing. Heartbeat of the earth, heartbeat, heartbeat of the earth, heartbeat, heartbeat of the earth. In the womb I feel the heartbeat of my mother. In the womb I feel protected and safe. In the womb I feel the heartbeat of our mother. In the womb I feel her comfort and love, sweet love. When I feel afraid and when I feel unsafe, I return to the heartbeat, I return to the womb. When I need her comfort, when I need her love, I return to the heartbeat, I return to the womb. Heartbeat, heartbeat of the earth, heartbeat, heartbeat of the earth, heartbeat, heartbeat of the earth, heartbeat, heartbeat of the earth. Feel her pulsing through my veins. I remember in the back of my brain that I'm in the womb again. Heartbeat, heartbeat of the earth, heartbeat, heartbeat of the earth. I feel her pulse worldwide. Open up and let her inside. She will unify our tribe with her heartbeat. Heartbeat of the earth, heartbeat. Heartbeat of the earth, heartbeat. Heartbeat, heartbeat of the earth, heartbeat. Heartbeat of the earth. Okay, we're gonna sing another chant. This one I'll start with call and response. You guys can do a little. It should be the next slide. Gabe, I don't know if he's talking. It's called Building Bridges. There it is. Okay, call and response. We are building bridges between our divisions. Building bridges between our divisions. I reach out to you as you reach out to I. Reach out to you as you reach out to I. With all of our voices are building bridges between our, sorry. I reach out to you as you reach out to I. With all of our voices and all of our visions, family, we can make such sweet harmony. Together we can make such sweet harmony. Beautiful. One more time. We are building bridges between our divisions. I reach out to you as you reach out to I. All of our voices and all of our fusions, family, we can make such sweet harmony. Together we can make such sweet harmony. Thank you. All right. We're going to pick up the beat now a little bit. We're going to kind of change the beat. Ba-boom, ba. So you guys can just do this. There we go.
back in community.
Community!
How do you feel?
Wait a second, Reverend. Are you going to introduce that?
Yeah.
Okay, hold a second. I'm interrupting the Reverend.
Yeah, I'm about to bring him up.
Jay, discipline. This man right here. Come on up. Lyrical Eyes coming up. This man has the most discipline in hip-hop that I think I've personally ever witnessed and possibly the world has ever had. This man practices and loves to speak the word.
Isaac Collins, Lyrical Eye.
It is an honor to be here. My name is Isaac. I go by Lyrical Eye. I've been doing this for over 19 years. Next year will be 20 years. And I remember when I first got to Santa Cruz, I came to Interlight. I was on the streets. Curtis took me off the streets, and he saved my life. Now I'm a teacher. Now I'm doing hip-hop full-time. I wake up and do it. But I'm a lyricist. I do poetry and hip-hop. So I'm going to do 3 pieces. This is a piece I just wrote, and it's an honoring of what's going on in this community. Because as artists, we have to speak, right? We have to do that at the right thing. So I'm going to do this. How many of us, hold on a second. How many lives have to be set on fire for their voices to matter? Instead of us being blind of what's going on in our community. How many more voices that are never heard when they're out there speaking for real change? How many more of us are going to pretend that mental health of people of color don't matter when it has to be addressed more than ever? Our youth are dying. Our youth are dying because no one is caring enough to listen. How many more marches? How many more protests? How many more speeches do we have to make to suffer for our rights to exist? To suffer for our rights to exist in our cities that will hide away from the real issues that we're facing right now. In our cities that will hide away from the real issues that we're facing right now. How many more? How many more? How many more? Until it's too late for us to wake up and see it for ourselves. Until it's too late for us to wake up and see it for ourselves. How many more lives? How many more? That's 1. All right, now we're gonna go into 2. Let me tell you my story through words. Pay attention to the lost art. Lost art. Let me tell you my story through words. Pay attention to the lost art. My mother passed away when I was 8 years old. My father was in prison while the cancer took him out in the cold. He didn't make it to 65. I had to thrive through all the pain year after year, tell my story through the ups and downs. I came a long ways from the dark days to see the sunrise shining again. Had to lose it all just to win. I'm coming deep within. When I was fighting my mental through the trials and tribulations, to find my motivation, inspiration, isolation of my mind became my lifelines. Whatever word I write, I'm never lose sight of what I've been through. I'm just giving you my heart right from the start. I'm just giving you my heart right from the start. Let me tell you my story through words. Pay attention to the lost art. Let me tell you my story through words. Pay attention to the lost art. I was falling apart, dealing with depression, learning new lessons. That was the blessings in the skies. I opened up my eyes. I rose above the hate and pushing people away to relate. Never hesitate. Appreciate every moment I'm living and giving. I'm never fading away. I'm never fading away. I'm never fading away. I'm changing my soul, reaching for my goals. Realistically, metaphorically, reaching for my goals, realistically, metaphorically, from the ground up. Now let me tell you my story through words. Pay attention to the lost thought. Now let me tell you my story through words. Pay attention to the lost thought, lost thought. Now let me tell you my story through words. Pay attention to this lost thought. All right, I got one more. This will be the last one. This life, I know what I'm living for. This life, I know what I'm fighting for. This life, I know what I'm living for. I'm gonna march and protest. Speak for the people that wanted to be treated as equal human beings, not controlled by machines, working for minimum wages, going through these stages, survive in this rat race. We at war for oil, while companies keep getting rich off our taxes. There's no satisfaction with high inflation, separating other nations to control population, with discrimination, no elevation. To realize we're dying from extermination, real as this civilization run by government organizations that doesn't care about justification. Long as money's made off manipulation, we're all being controlled in this. This life, I know what I'm living for. This life, I know what I'm fighting for. This life, I know what I'm living for. It would take participation to overcome this nation from the starvation. It would take participation to overcome the starvation. It is our time to participate for our liberation. It is time for us to participate for our liberation. This life, I know what I'm living for. This life, I want you to sing this. This life, I know what I'm living for. This life, I know what I'm fighting for. Now sing it again. This life, I know what I'm living for. This life, I know what I'm fighting for. Again, this life, I know what I'm living for. This life, I know what I'm fighting for. Thank you.
Thank you, my brother. Isaac Collins, Lyrical I. So we're going to do prayer a little differently today. And sometimes that word can be scary to people because they feel like they don't really know what that is or what that's about. But we're going to simplify it here. I want you to think of prayer as simply a vibration. That's all. It's how we're feeling, it's what we're saying, and it's elevating it up. It's elevating it up, okay? Sometimes at weddings, where I'll get the couples together before they do their vows, and I really like to do it if they have a rehearsal dinner or something like the day before, because, you know, once they're in it, they're just in it. I've married a few couples in here. And I'll have them stand in a circle, and I'll have them go around and say something that they want to bless the couple with. And it's really sweet, particularly to see what the kids say. You know, whatever. You know, I want you to always be happy, you know, or like whatever that is. It's like, it's really, really. And that's a prayer. That's a prayer. You're blessing. Like, what do you want them to have? So when I said before that, like, grief is communal, it's personal to us, and it's also communal. Well, it's the same thing with prayer. The prayer is something that is very, like, personal, and it's something that we do, like, in community as well. So I'm going to ask you to do this little exercise with me. So if you're able to, I'm going to ask everybody to stand up and pair off with somebody. Could be anybody. If you can, get out from the seats. Get out into the areas. Here. Is everybody paired up? Okay. Each pair join another pair. Okay? So you're in a group of 4. Okay? Each group join another group. So those of you, there's like 4 of you there, just join in one of these other groups, any group. You can spread out a little bit. Give yourself some room. You can even come over here in the front. Because you give yourself some room. Come here. Your group, come here. Heather, bring your group to the front. Yeah, you can spread out some. That looks like a really big group. A couple of you, Isaac, why don't you come on over here and join this group? Kristen, why don't you come on over and join this group over here? Okay? Now I want you to go around the group and count off 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 until everybody gets a number. Okay. Some at you drop it like really low. Really low. Really low. Because I want to hear each other. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to rotate who gets into the center of the circle. Okay, we're going to start with the ones. And when the ones go in, what we're going to do is we're just going to spiritually gossip about them. Okay? And your group back there, if you're small, if you want to join any of these other groups, you can join in too if you want to. Or stay with your own group. It's up to you. Okay. All right. So what you're going to do, the ones are going to go in the center first, and you're just going to bless them. You're going to spiritually gossip. You're going to tell them how great they are. You're going to tell them how wonderful their life is, how much you appreciate them. And everybody's going to say it at once. Okay? You don't wait. All of you are talking to these folks at the same time. So those of you who are in the center, if you want to close your eyes, you want to turn around or something, that's fine. Don't even try to necessarily make out what everybody is saying, okay? It's more creating just a wash of sound vibration here, okay? So the ones are going to be the ones that get blessed first. 1, 2, 3. Tell them how wonderful they are. It is. Do you want to join in a group? Do you want to join in a group? You sure? Okay. Okay, the ones come out and the twos go in. One's out, two's in. Okay, gossip about them. Tell them how wonderful they are. And all the great things in store for them. Twos go out and the threes go in. Tell them how wonderful they are. Threes come out and the fours go in.
Thank you.
Tell them how wonderful they are. As the fours go out, you can put in the center anybody that's on your heart and mind. I'm going to invite you to put that whole world in the center right now. All the concerns of your heart, maybe it's particular people, populations of people, trans folks, civil servant workers, Ukraine. I mean, we got a long list. Just bless them. Tell them how wonderful they are. Give them words of encouragement so they can hear you. So they can hear you in Africa where we were giving aid. Where they can hear you in Gaza saying, we're not going to take over your land. So they can hear you in Greenland and Panama saying, we're not going to invade you. We love you. We can say to the researchers and the scientists, the civil servants, thank you. The educators, the healthcare workers, even the FBI and the CIA, thank you. We breathe it in, we breathe it in. Breathe it in. Feel yourself just exhaling. I want you to hold on to this feeling as you go back to your seat. I'm going to invite a few people. Anybody that wants to. Get 3 people come up here and say what this has been like for you. To have people blessing you, to be able to bless people, to play music together. 3 people. Three people, come share with us. I need 2 more.
Come on, folks. I know that I'm not the only one that was moved by this. Thank you. I feel restored. I didn't know that I wasn't restored. But there's a new level of connection, community, a reminder that there's really only one of us here. The experience of being one with all of you. And it's yummy. and it's vibrating throughout my body still.
Thank you. Thank you, Catherine.
I felt loved. I felt valued and appreciated. It's definitely something I've never felt, but I felt that, and yeah, that's all I gotta say.
I felt also love and a connection and togetherness and a wholeness, reminding me that it's we the people, is what can transform and take place when we all come together. And this is just a small circle. Can you imagine what it would be like when we, all of us in this nation, we stand together as we the people and need to remind ourselves of that each day. And we're the United States of America, a place where we love. It is not becoming a new Russia. Real quick, I'm sorry, but I spent 23 years in the military defending this country.
Sure.
Russia was always my number one enemy, and they still are. I can't understand how it's being transformed like that. So with this unity right here in the whole United States, we stand together, we have tremendous power.
Yes.
Bringing the love and the joy and the peace. That's what we need.
Amen.
Thank you.
Thank you. Last one. Need some help?
Well, I'm not a public speaker, so hello, everybody. I'll do the best I can to express what's in my heart. First of all, looking out at all these people, it just brings tears to my eyes. Just loving kindness everywhere. And we are so in need of that. For me today, just lots of different ways of expressing things. And I'm not a hip-hop fan, I'll fully admit it, but I'm telling you, you guys drew me in. Very definitely drew me in. I forgot about the messenger and just listened to the message, and it worked beautifully for me. So I just am so glad I came today, and I just want to thank you. My hands are still vibrating from our circles.
Amen. Amen. Yes. Just breathe it in. Okay. That was like 5 minutes. 5 minutes. Without the news, nobody told you what to say. 5 minutes. We can do this. Every conversation doesn't have to be doom and gloom. Can you imagine if you just say, you know what? Even at the dinner table, let's just stop for a minute, okay? Acknowledge each other. Say something nice. Just, can you feel this vibration? Okay? This is what we need right now. Yes? This is what we need. So, Gabe, I'm going to ask you to put something up. Can you put up the announcement? So it didn't get in the newsletter because it's late breaking, but we will get the information out. Not that one, the other one. Okay. So there's a workshop that we've done before in town. We're going to do a soiree and do it virtually for the first time. But we're also going to do it in person. We're going to team up with some other congregations. So I've been working with this new nonprofit for a while now, getting it going, and we're just starting to launch. It's called Unleashing Our Future. And we're going to be taking basic spiritual principles and whatnot and putting it out there in the world in very user-friendly ways across different kinds of groups and communities so that we can all come together and literally unleash the potentiality that's within us. So this is a play shop, okay? It's free, but you got to bring your markers and your pens and all that with you. It's going to be on Saturday, yes, on Saturday morning, the 22nd, from 10 to noon. That's Pacific time. And, you know, we'll get it all dollied up and whatnot for you to be able to do that. But, like, mark your calendar with that. And it's a time for us to learn how to speak from vision. Pain pushes until vision pulls. Okay? And we'll be able to do some visioning and to, like, shift that vibration and learn how to take control of the public discussions. Okay? He who frames the issues controls the discussion. Okay? And there's different ways that we can frame things. And we're going to have a lot of fun with it. It's extremely, extremely interactive. So I'm going to invite you to that. And if you are here for the very first time or you haven't been with us for a while, please fill out the information at the donation station. There's a place where you can put your email. We want to stay in touch with you. And now, Gabriel Wooden, thank you, Gabe. He grew up with us. You know, he was a little tot. He was a little tot with us before. Calling all practitioners. Okay, I've trained a lot of people. Okay, I've trained a lot of people. You know what? Those of you who finished our training program from Inner Light who are in the house, stand up. Okay. All right. So remember I said earlier that there's a fire? Came from the LA area. They just had those fires. And you know what? Every able-bodied person who could fight fires had to report. Okay? Didn't matter if you retired. Firefighters were coming in from other countries, from other places. This is a summons. Okay? All of the training, everything that we have done for years is for such a time as this. Okay? We got to get regrounded, recentered, refocused. We got work to do in creating the container for the work that needs to be done. Okay? I'm going to say one more thing before we take the collection and like get out of here and go and have some good eats. Everybody's asking me all the time, well, Rev, what do I do, what I do, what I do? Here's my answer to that. In order for what needs to get done, it's going to happen on a lot of fronts. There's not like just one particular thing. Just the way the dismantling is happening on a lot of fronts. Okay? There's not like one silver bullet. But I would like to give you this metaphor. Perhaps it might be helpful. I've been talking about a fire. Well, there's not just a fire that we've got to put out. There's a fire we need to create. Okay? We need to light this up some and act with the urgency that is required. So every fire needs three things. It needs heat, it needs fuel, and it needs oxygen. To keep a fire going in your own personal life, in the world, as a metaphor, it always needs these three things. They cannot substitute for one another. And what you'll find is in society, there'll be these times where different people will play different roles. Youth are known for bringing the heat, like as a historical thing. Okay? The heat is that agitation. That heat is that stuff that's the disruptor. Okay? The fuel is just that. It's the consistency. You know, and in our society, it would be like working within the system and like the political arena, like all the rest of that. And then there's also the oxygen. Okay, the oxygen is that which helps it to breathe. A lot of what we just did is some of that oxygen. okay? Because if you remove any one of those, you're not going to make it, okay? Do you. That's my answer. Is do you. Don't be mad at somebody for being the heat when you're the oxygen, and don't try to get the oxygen to be the heat. Just do you, okay? And when you do you, you're led. Those opportunities will come up for you. You know, I tend to play all of them, you know, like it's, you know, have my feet in all of it. Just do you. Don't feel powerless. And just stay in that, okay, God, I'm ready, whatever it is that you want me to do. Whatever it is you want me to do. I'm having a vision now, and I know I've told this story before. Dr. James, Reverend Dr. James Lowry told this story here at one of the UCSC convocations about how he was doing a march with King, and they were marching to the Capitol in Mississippi. And the government started coming out and giving people free hams to try to get them not to march. And people were just taking these hams, and he was just so frustrated. So when the day started to march, there were very few people who were there. And then it even started to rain. And he's like, oh, God, are you against us too? But they started marching. And it took a few days to get to the Capitol. The crowds kept getting bigger and bigger. But when they got to the Capitol, there were station wagons full of ham sandwiches for the marchers. Okay? I'm just saying. You do you. Activists get hungry. Maybe that's your role. Okay. But everybody is called to do something, is my point. Yeah. Now is our time of conscious giving. There's our stations that are in the social hall area there with QR codes. Can we pull those up? Can we pull those up? Hey. Speaking of practitioners that we've graduated here. So if you want to do cash, there's a box in there for cash. There are also baskets. I know a lot of people aren't carrying cash these days. There's also baskets going around, and there are white envelopes. I don't know if there are any envelopes in those baskets, but if you want to get credit and acknowledged for your cash, be sure to fill out your name on that particular envelope. If you want to do something, you know, like online or with your mobile phone, the password here is Chewbacca, right? Chewbacca. Yeah, CATWBACA. If you want to use your QR code, you can do that. And it'll take you to a portal. You have the option at that portal of using a credit card, a debit card, PayPal card, or anything like that. Similarly, with the text to give, okay, all you do is you just take your phone, you dial that number, 831-231-0065. Okay, there are prompts that are there, and all you do is you type in an amount that you want to give, and you just follow like all of the instructions, you know, that are there. And the good thing about that is if you save that, then the next time all you got to do is type the numbers. You don't have to do anything else. It's just like already in there. And for those of you who are interested in doing recurring and that kind of stuff, that one also lets you tie to other things besides debit cards and credit cards. You can actually do like accounts. There are many people who pledge with us, and I want to say thank you for those recurring ones, because that gives us what we need to be able to continue to do the work. And the funds that come in here today, off the top, it goes to paying for this space and paying for a beautiful artist and the cost of this. So we ask for you to be able to give generously so that we have something above that that we can actually continue, to do some work with. Yes. So let's just turn within for a moment. As we turn within, we are expressing gratitude. We're knowing that there's only one source. That people, places, and things are just the resource. So we give thanks for all the ways that we have been blessed. And we have our opportunities to pass it forward. Knowing that the gifts that we give return to us. It's not a one-way street. So all the offerings that are coming in and that will be coming in, those that are happening online as well. I invite you to repeat after me. My every act produces abundance. I dare to give freely unto the truth that sets us free. I release our gifts, knowing they return to us a thousandfold. Thank you. Thank you. And so it is. Really on behalf of Inner Light, thank you for that. Take us home. And once again, if you're able, are the chefs in the house? Okay, do you know what we're having? Yes. So, mushroom bok choy soup. Come on up, tell us what we're having. So this is Julie Wooden. She and her husband have been overseeing the hospitality crew and the ones that have been in charge of like the cooking and stuff that goes on in the kitchen and purchasing the stuff and all of that. It's been really quite, a gift. And anybody who cooks or whatnot, we're always grateful to have extra food too. Tell us what we're eating.
So we're just having mushroom bok choy soup with stuff in it, and salad, and bread, homemade bread, and hummus, and I think that's about it. Oh, maybe a couple little meatball things. Yeah, thanks.
All right. Thank you. All right, let's rock out of here.
All right, I got a short intro here because we were talking about prayer so much. That's what I'm going to sing my love song about. I have a lot of love songs. You can find them on Spotify or something like that. But I want to sing this love song about my beads, my prayer beads. And I love prayer beads. I'm going to take them off here for a second. And, ever since this happened, what happened? I think I've gone tenfold on my prayers. And so I need beads. If I don't have my beads, I feel like I can't keep as many prayers with me. And some days I don't take my beads, and I get less prayers in. So I'm going to share that love for my prayer beads. But I understand that my prayer
we're needing to. There's another group that's trying to come in.
Is not in the beads.
So we're running a little later.
So my short song and my love song is not about praying to beads or simple repetition, but true adoration. Now we'll sing. Just a bead on my mala, just a bead on my rosary, just a bead on my mala, just a bead on my rosary. Oh, you're just a prayer to me. Oh, yeah. I didn't wear these beads to be cool now. I was just trying to keep cool now. I was just trying to keep track. Mindful on the path. Yeah, just remind me that love is all there is, was, will ever be. Just a string of beads. I count the truth inside of me. I let the angels sing in a harmony, a divine melody. just a beat on my mala, just a beat on my rosary, just a beat on my mala, just a beat on my rosary. Ooh, yeah, you're just a prayer to me. Ooh, yeah. Without my beads, I'd be jonesing. I can't stay in my zones, and my mind can't focus on. It's a crutch that I'm leaning on. Mother, I'm needing some love and affection. Surround me with your love like protection. Swimming in this world, I'm just about drowned in. Mantra, mind sounding. Love, I'm just gonna let in. Just a beat on my mala, just a beat on my rosary, just a beat on my mala, just a beat on my rosary. Ooh, you're just a prayer to me. Yeah. Mama's a beat bumping up like an 808, but mother, I need that 108. Divine mother, and I contemplate rising up my spine just like a snake. In every beat of that I make, it's one step closer. Take more love, less hate. Easy path, meditate, open sesame, open gate. Not a moment too soon, not a second late. I've been hanging from the string and I took the bait. Just a beat on my mala, just a beat on my rosary, just a beat on my mala, just a beat on my rosary. Ooh, yeah, you're just a prayer to me. All right, let's give it up for the band one more time here. Look at these guys. Oh, Russell, Etienne, Kevin Donato, Namsya, Carpenter, Smilesalot. The most disciplined man in hip-hop, Lyrical Joe. Thank you, Jay, for explaining that. Reverend Deborah, my great teacher. This whole room loves you, and the people out and online, we thank you so much. We all love you so much. Inner life be with you. We're gonna take this consciousness and multiply it.